I'm pretty sure I'm doing like audio too. Hey, everybody, this is Grimcad. That was a weird intro. It was very offbeat from my normal cadence.
It was different. It was different, that was.
We are here again on a Friday night for me, and I don't know, Saturday morning-ish for you guys? Afternoon.
1 p.m. for us.
Gotcha. I mean, some would still consider that morning. And we are playing Dungeons and Dragons 5th edition. We are playing the Tomb of Annihilation mod. And I've been told that some of us have Discord problems.
Yes. I think I just had a couple.
I think I am back from Discord problems.
Hopefully. I go by Grimcat. I am playing Riade the Bee Wizard. We're just going to go down and introduce everybody real quick. Roland, say hi.
Hey, I'm the Discord issues.
Greg, say hi.
Quick and sharp.
All right. Huh?
Sorry. No, yeah. Push on. Just get used to this push to talk thing.
Oh, gotcha. It's terrible. I don't use it. As I'm sure you guys know by now. And last but not least, we are joined by our DM, Gypsy.
Yes, hi. I don't have Discord problems. I just sit back and laugh while it all happens.
Will la-dee-da.
But yeah. Oh, I guess I will do what I usually do and take over there.
Yeah. Sounds good.
Last we left off, you guys had just arrived back to the Goblin Village, the Biting Ants tribe, your friends. After, for one of you, a rather precarious way back across a bridge, nearly lost Roland. That was always a joy, and it wasn't even to something of my design. But yeah, last we left off, it was mid to late evening sometime, and you had just begun setting up camp when your good friend Big Smart showed up, seemingly out of nowhere, and informed you that you were not far actually from your intended destination. So you ended up following him back to their village and basically left it there. So we shall pick up from there. Unless anyone has anything to ask, discuss, or talk about before we head in.
Not particularly.
Well, as you walk in... yes, go.
I was just going to say, the Queen was busy, right? So
Yes.
that's why I went off fishing.
Yes. That's why you're instantaneously on the other side of the map, because that's what you do.
It's what I do. Split the party.
But yes, as you've come into camp, you've noticed things are still being done, but usually things are quite lively and with a lot of chittering and chattering of goblins as they work, and everything seems a lot quieter at the moment. Not like anyone's not working or slacking off or anything like that. They're just doing it in such a way that it doesn't make as much noise as you've seen in the past.
Is there any obvious reason why they would be being quiet, or anything that we can see, rather?
Not that you can see directly. I mean, you have been informed that there's been trouble happening and everything like that. So you could imagine it's a sort of try to make the village not stand out in the wilderness as much. A village makes a lot of noise and can be heard before it'd be seen in a jungle like this or something.
Mm-hmm. Makes sense.
But besides that, it seems to be business as usual for the goblins as far as you've had dealings and experiences with them.
So other than, that brief conversation, we're more or less being left alone, I take it.
Yeah, Big Smart's gone off to do his own thing, possibly tell the Queen that you're here and see to whatever business he's got to see to. It very much is a situation of they seem comfortable enough that you've spent cumulative a week or two with them in the village, let alone you've brought back their Big Smart and everything from week-long expeditions in the jungle and everything like that. Like, you're obviously not here to do them harm by any means.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they trust that you aren't.
The
That's not to say that you aren't. They just trust
right.
that you are not.
What I'm hearing is it's the perfect time to do them harm.
Perfect time for crime.
But the shield guardian statue is still standing where you left it before you left the village long ago. You don't think the goblins would have even tried, not that they would have been able to transport it themselves anyway without, a village effort.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I do remember the last time I poked around with it a little bit too. So it's all coming back to me. It's been a little while, but it's coming back.
Yeah, because we missed last week, so it's take time to figure out what you want to do and everything.
All right, I want to pour myself another drink.
Yeah, so again, I remember sort of fiddling around with the shield guardian or whatever last time, but I would like to give I forgot our donkey's name, but
Chonky.
Chonky. Or the mule, whatever. A good once over as well. Make sure she's been kept care of, fed, yada yada yada. I remember we've lost some stuff on her, of course, but
yeah,
I don't expect to get that back. But
she seems healthy and everything. Not necessarily like they've made particular efforts to feed her or anything. She seems to have just been left within the village perimeter during the time that you've been away and just left to her own devices. So she hasn't been harmed or anything like that. But there's no it doesn't seem like they've laid out a specific area where they've been feeding her and she's spent most of her time or anything like that. And she's not tied to a pitch or anything like that when you find her.
Okay. Yeah, so she was probably just free range in it.
Yeah. I mean, you're a druid, you could ask her.
I could. I'm the worst druid ever. Just dust my hand and goes, yep, that looks fine. But in the meantime, while we're sort of waiting for the later Grubstank, I think it was, to see us, I guess. I mean, I don't know what she's going to tell us.
Is that what you guys are waiting specifically for?
I think so. I mean, I don't particularly have anything else that I need to accomplish, that's for sure. Can't necessarily speak. Yeah.
No, being in the same boat. I wouldn't mind offloading some stuff onto Chunky though.
But yeah, also take this time to sort out any gear you need to drop off or anything.
Yeah.
Well, a couple of hours would probably pass of you guys mulling around doing whatever, rolling, fishing, you looking after Chonky, and Jake doing whatever he does as well. I've just seen him sit by the fire so far.
I'm with my talking now.
But Big Smart would come find one or all of you guys if you're in a group and come up to you and say, Queen probably see you now if you want. She not so busy now. She doing things, but she say that if you guys need to see her, you can.
Here's a question: Do we need to see her? That's more of an out of character question, obviously.
Yeah.
I wanted to ask her if she had made any progress on possibly finding the amulet control for the Shield Guardian.
Yeah, like, we can talk to her and we can find out that and any other news straight from the horse's mouth, but, like, other than that, you know.
How do we get involved in Goblin Wars?
Yeah, maybe ask her if she wants us to go be diplomats for another goblin tribe.
Well, I mean, we could certainly talk to her and see if she has any jobs or anything for us. I mean, we are sort of in between at the moment.
Yeah, you're free to do whatever. You don't really have any leads any which way at the moment.
Yeah. And rather than just straight wandering. So, yeah, you know, we'll go and have a chat, I suppose. The three of us.
Well, you would be led into her tent, which I don't have a blow up of obviously. But and you'd be led inside past the two guards.
Mm-hmm.
And inside she would be opposed to what Big Smart told you. She looks rather unbusy currently, lying back on a bed of what you could assume would be the goblin equivalent of large pillows. And she says, B-boy, what want?
Well, we've come back from doing our errands, as it were. Not exactly errands, of course. And, well, we're back, and... Well, it sounds awkward, but we don't know what to do next, really. We've explored some ruins out in the jungle, of course, but don't have any more leads on anything else of that nature, or really know what else to do. So we sort of came back here. My friend Roland had a question for you, very specifically.
Yeah, I wanted to ask you if you made any progress on finding something that could control the statue we brought.
No, not really. We've been busy with a lot of other things. The owls not liking that we take the statue that we take God.
Big Star Mart had mentioned a little bit about that. Are things starting to get serious, or?
Somewhat serious. I mean, we've been fighting a lot more than usual. Big Smarts say a big fight probably necessary.
Right, so it's just been sort of small things right now, but there's certainly a big one brewing.
Seems like it. The scouts, the fast boys, they tell me that they have moved their village, or at least most of it. They're a lot closer and definitely near our territory now. They used to be on far side of river.
They moved to the close side of the river now, their entire village.
Yes, apparently some stay behind on old land, but most have gone to big crocodile man in village. Near river.
I think we went there. We didn't see any goblins there while we were there. How long ago did they move?
Uh, since you and Big Smart go different way.
Uh,
Well, I guess we're pretty lucky we didn't run into him then.
Likely. I mean, Big Smart probably get you in trouble, honestly.
Right. Hold on, I gotta pause for my kid.
It's okay.
Can I help you?
I am training to be a warrior.
Yeah.
Is there any way to avoid the war, a fight?
We leave or they leave probably, but we not want to leave again. We just set back up.
I'm back.
well, we do know where the crocodile and man are. Well, we've been there before. We could probably figure out the way back.
You want to go to them?
They won't be expecting us to just show up, will they?
I mean, no, probably not. But at the same time, there's a lot of them, like us, lot of them.
Well, maybe we should bring us.
You want to take you to them?
Well, now, hold on.
The truck.
What sort of we're feeling is we understand that there's this problem, and even though, well, it's one of our own doing, your own doing, you asked us to bring it here, I know I personally can't help but feel just a little bit responsible as well. I mean, we perhaps did a little bit above and beyond what you expected. So part of this problem is, possibly our fault. And I think we haven't really spoken too much about it, but I think I can speak for everyone, think it would be in our best interests to help you out with this issue. This issue being the hooting owls.
You want to help get rid of owls?
We're willing to. I think we're willing to trade for. We're on sort of a mission that we mentioned before. We're trying to find out what's causing resurrecting people to die. People who've been brought back to life, they die again. And we think the answer is somewhere here in the jungle.
That thing should be dead anyway. It sounds like good thing.
It can be complicated. This isn't like the undead, zombies, skeletons, and what have you. This is good folk who, with the power of their gods, are brought back to life. I'll agree with you. Well, it's complicated.
Okay. I see. I understand.
But you see from the look in her face that she is still completely lost herself.
Right.
As far as she's concerned, it's dead. Why would you want it to be not dead? You've killed it for a reason.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, she goes on from then and says,
Oh, well, I mean, we not know about any of that sort of stuff, but we know that if you help get rid of owls, we be thankful. I mean, you're already friends. We don't know what we can give you.
Well, having a place and a people around here is a big help. Somewhere we can work out of, come back to resupply, rest, take things easy. That we know we're fairly safe here in the middle of the jungle. That's always a big help. But in addition to that, even the locations of any ruins or anything like that would have help greatly.
And she kind of sits and thinks for a few moments. And she says,
Oh, if you help get rid of owls, I make people, I send my boys out. They spend time looking for these ruins. You want like old human ruins?
And probably not even just humans, but just anything, because again, we don't know exactly what we're looking for. We just suspect that it's out here. It could be anything. It could be I don't even know if Chult has dragons, but it could be in a dragon's lair somewhere.
Oh, dragons. Oh. Well, we will do our best to find at least something. I mean, no promises, but we look for dragons for you if you want.
Well, again, just anything that is interesting, points of interest.
Okay, yeah, we have deal then.
May I also request that you look out for what will probably be a magic necklace that seemingly does nothing?
If you want. I mean, you want one made? We can make one.
You can make magical items, or a necklace that does nothing.
A necklace that does nothing. Can you not make them?
Maybe with some effort.
Oh, we make some for you then.
you notice as one of the attendants shuffles off out of the tent. You guys about to get fan art now. You just got 30 goblin children getting their whittling sticks out.
Well, Big Smart, he wants to just like fight to get rid of them and everything. But I mean, that just makes them run and come back. They always do it. We need to get rid of them once and for all.
Do you have any ideas about this? I'll admit it's not exactly my area of expertise. War. It's.
You strong, you go in there and fight them all, but there's lots of them. I not suggest that.
Yeah, I don't think that's a great idea myself.
I think Big Smart be better one to talk to. I see the running of village. I mean, if some way could be had that they just leave forever, that worked too, but they'd never stick to truces for long in past.
Right. I mean, if it came to it, I personally would rather not kill them all myself. What if you could sort of dominate their tribe, have their tribe come into yours? Obviously, this would be somewhat down the line, having you all having beaten them down to a certain point, but
Some tribes may do it, but I don't think owls do. Their smartness, their magic smartness they think they're better than us.
well, I suppose we just have to show them otherwise. Yeah, and I take it they aren't really. You can't really talk to them. This is more just sort of fighting as soon as you see each other.
A lot of the time, yeah, younger ones they quick to run in. They want to prove they're strongest. Sometimes it's ours, sometimes it's theirs. More often than not, it's ours, though.
Yeah.
I've personally never met their elders or their king or queen.
Would you be open to doing so?
Maybe. It depends, really. I've not dealt with any of them, if I'm honest. I mean, I just don't want my village all hurt.
Right. Which is understandable. Again, what I'm thinking about is not meeting immediately. I'm thinking of meeting when we have already established your tribes' position of power.
That better idea, yes. You mean like weaken them first?
Yes.
Yeah.
That might work. I mean, I just don't want my tribe hurt too much. Like Big Smart, he not care as much. He want the fighting.
Right. Well, for one, it would probably be a good idea that the two of you, and possibly another one, make plans. It shouldn't just be one group of brash youths running against another one. We should be being smart about this, setting ambushes in things. No.
There may be other ways to do it too. There are other tribes as well. I don't think owls want to be friendly with us like we are, but other tribes may want to.
That's worth a thought too. Are there many other tribes in this area?
Quite a few, but only maybe 3 or 4 main ones. Only 3-4 big ones like ours. Others are outcasts or lost ones.
Hello, Daddy.
Hello, Riley.
Can you say hello to them?
You can say hello.
Hello.
Hello,
Hello.
Riley.
All right, you
Hello.
little immersion breaker. Shove off. I'd probably turn to Roland and Jake. What do you think about that? The thing that makes the most sense to me is to try to get them in one fight and win fairly convincingly, and then take that and then go see some of these other tribes and see if we can get them to confederate, if you will.
But
How is-
so fight them first and then go see other tribes.
Set up some sort of ambush or something. show this other tribe that they have, some, if I do say so myself, rather strong allies, and achieve a victory, and then go to the other tribes and try to, again, sort of solicit their help.
Yeah.
Close to the idea, but
What do you think?
could we poison the whole entire tribe?
I wouldn't.
Do we even have enough poison?
No.
That would be an option, not one that I would take.
It's just war crime an entire village of goblins.
Only goblins.
Well,
Maybe we should bring in Big Smart too and see if he has any thoughts about this.
Big Smart would have been listening throughout.
Oh, okay. I forgot
Because
if he was there.
he
or
more
not.
than likely, he more than likely would have been the one that would have come and got you, and very much seems like a second in command for the village.
Yeah.
But he'd turn around and say, "Well, I like Queen say, honestly, me and my boys, we just like to fight. If you want to go see other tribes, that's your business. I mean, I make one of the boys show you the way, but I'm not going personally. They know my face too well." He points at his mask when he says face.
And they're not on good terms with you, for the most part.
I have little bit of reputation among bigger tribes. They know that I tend to hurt first and not worry about questions.
you may not like him so much.
You like to fight?
I mean, it's fun, isn't it?
That's
Punch.
wonderful.
Hey, punch
It is great.
And while this little discussion's going on, Grabsab's kind of not shooting exactly evils, but it's more of a disapproving mother look. Like if you no, that'd be too far extreme. I was going to say the mother from Snatch, but she's not screaming and hollering that her boy wants to fight. But like a disapproving mother who knows that her son can look after himself, but doesn't like the fact that he could get hurt.
Right. Well, I think that's the thing to do then. I think we try to force a decently large fight. We're there for it. With a little bit of luck, we win convincingly. And then we take news of this win to some of the other tribes to sort of, again, confederate.
Dominate.
And, well, then either wind up putting them in a position where they can no longer wage this war by one way or another.
You were talking about an ambush before, honey. Is that?
Well, it's been mentioned that, they run at the first sight, or not necessarily first sight, but soon. It's hard to get a convincing win one way or another. I would think the way to go around that is by an ambush of some sort.
What, planning an ambush as they run? Like, so they run into the ambush?
I'd probably shrug, shoulders in the air. Again, it's not really my expertise by any stretch of the means. When there's a fight, I'll fight, but I don't typically look for one.
We have practiced our ambushes, though, guys.
Well, me and the boys, we can ambush pretty well. I mean, we prefer straight up fighting, but we have use with like longer range bows and stuff like that.
Oh, you'll get your battle. You just need to stop them from running first. So, yeah, we can ambush them as they're running away. Try to get them as they run into the ambush.
Running from what?
Running from us into the ambush.
Oh, into the goblin ambush.
Yeah.
Aye. Now you've just got to plan who, when, and how.
Oh, that was just an idea. It was thrown out there.
At this point, Grab Stab would be looking a little bit, for lack of a better word, annoyed that quote unquote war discussions are happening in her tent, which Big Smart would take the cue on and say,
We go outside. We talk out there. Queen need rest.
and lead you back outside.
Do you know I have a war tent?
A what?
A war tent. We can plan all the wars.
He's not quite that organized. It's just a factor of Queen don't want it in her tent.
Well, sure. You know, I nod my head to the queen and. All right. Well, hopefully, with this we can both get what we want.
She gives a nod.
When I have less to worry about, then the village can help you too.
Yeah. All right, and I would boop out the tent.
Sorry, just eating quickly.
Yeah.
So Big Smart would just basically lead you to somewhere. Like I said, he wouldn't have an actual laid out area for this sort of thing. But he'd say so.
So, what you guys want to do? How you want to do this? I mean, so far we've been fighting them. At first it was like normal, and then we noticed that they started setting up in Crocodile Man, and I remembered that we'd been there. And yeah, been there about a week now, and it's only a couple days from here.
I'll just double check that information, make sure it is only a couple of days from here. Make sure it's not like a week or something. Yeah, no, it is only a couple of days.
Oh yeah. Just over. Oh, my bad. It's up there.
So did anyone have any ideas of what they wanted to do next in regards to this?
I mean,
Big
beyond
Smart.
what I said, not really.
But that's what I was meaning, like how and who would you want involved in everything like that, and how would you want to do it? You've still got to actually, I guess, confirm that they are where the goblins are saying.
Yeah, that's next.
Might pay to get a numbers count of how many are at that camp and everything like that.
Yeah.
Try to get a layout of the area if we're going to plan an ambush.
Yeah, pick an
Okay,
area,
yeah.
find a way to get them into your ambush.
If there's a river there, hopefully we could run them up the river. Because they don't spawn very well, do they?
Well, you know
The-
there is a river there.
There is a river.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, someone's waking up on the ground.
You know, goblins like people. Some can swim, some can't as well.
Yeah. You know, as the guy in the big armor, I would think you would not want to be next to the river.
That too, actually.
Yeah, I do probably think one of the first things we should do is probably actually go scout out this place.
Well, I mean, it certainly makes sense coming from the spy.
If anyone else said it, I'd call shenanigans, but because it was the spy who fails at 90% of what he does.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. I was like, yeah.
So, yeah, I guess we should go.
Remember the terrible spy.
At least scope out what's going on. Get a count of numbers, patrols, how many people go out at a time.
Yeah.
Like this is where I can actually, this is where I can actually shine. I can go be a spy and spy on the goblin. All my previous work training is finally paying off.
Either that or get memed on instantaneously,
Yeah.
which is also just as likely. But no,
Yeah, knowing my luck.
Big Smart would be fine with that plan. Like he said, he probably wouldn't want to go with you guys. Just in case any diplomacy was tried, he would probably throw a wrench in any plans like that.
Right.
But he says, well, I send one of the scout boys with you if you want, and you go do what you want and go see what they want, what they are like and everything.
It sounds good. I think we will.
You want to go tonight or wait till tomorrow?
Well, probably wait till tomorrow.
Oh, okay, good idea.
And with that, he would assign a not young, not like child young, but certainly more youthful goblin than what you've seen and dealt with so far. He would assign that to you and introduce its name as Tick, just as a random name pulled out of nowhere.
Sure. I like it. What's he look like?
His mask is slightly too large for his body, like he's still got to grow into it. It's slightly too large and almost adds a comical effect to it.
Top heavy tick.
Yep. And he sticks pretty close to you guys in general, but stays a healthy distance away from the twins whenever they're nearby.
Mm-hmm.
Which they have not been this entire time, by the way.
Right. Well, I guess the first thing we should do is talk to the twins.
Can
as
he
well.
speak English, or did he just give us one that can only speak Goblin?
You know, it can only speak Goblin.
Yeah.
When it communicates, it kind of chitters and makes goblin noises at you and kind of mimes actions out.
Right. As long as we can really pantomime, I guess we can get it across. But yeah, at some point, I think we should go talk to the twins too, and if not necessarily make sure they're on board, at least make sure they're not totally against. So I'd come up to them, and so Hey, uh, we've sort of come up with a plan of action, although it's a little disjointed and still in the early stages. The way we got it, the goblins are starting to fight basically a war over this guardian statue that we pulled. We're going to lend this particular tribe a hand in winning this war. We still got some options on the table of how we're going about doing that. But in return for that, this will be sort of a safe haven for us throughout our exploits here in this damned jungle. And then they will go out and try to find any points of interest, ruins, or what have you, that we can then search out and explore.
I mean, I have no issue with what we're doing personally. Is there any way we can make this more lucrative for us? I mean, ruins and everything are fine. Fighting a war, it's not a easy or wantable job, really. And honestly, just getting the locations of some old buildings, is it really worth our time?
I'm thinking so. They'll know what's around here that's necessarily the oldest, what's not relevant for anything, what's already been picked over, hopefully. You make some sense in asking for some more lucrative opportunities here, and maybe this is something we can talk to them about, getting scavenging rights? I don't know exactly what you'd put it, over the goblins. I'll admit, while I may be surprised, I'm not expecting either or any of these goblin tribes to have much in the way of wealth.
No, I wouldn't expect that either, personally.
But perhaps there's some heirloom of whatever's that has some value to it or not. Something, again, looted from a ruin, or perhaps.
Well, as I said, I have no main issue myself, and I do not think Flask will either. I just want to make sure that our time is well used. I mean, we have no time limit out here, really, but at the same time, days wasted are days wasted.
I'd nod. But I don't think I really have a retort to that, personally.
You get the feeling that she's definitely on board, and she's not necessarily questioning what you're doing or your decisions or anything like that, just questioning if there was more to be made out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it is purely basically like a mercenary standpoint of information's good, but isn't gold better?
Sure, and, that certainly makes sense for them and their character. But again, we can see about laying claim to something good at the very least.
She gives a little chuckle and shrugs at that, and would wander off to go and probably update Flask over what was happening.
Mm-hmm. All right.
But the night would pass, I mean, safe and quietly, as quiet as a night in the jungle is. You've noticed the goblins have almost seemed to throw just throw pelts over their tents to combat the cold. It's the laziest way that they could probably think of to harden up the tents against the cold.
Mm-hmm.
Actually, grumpy it.
But the night would pass safely, and I won't make people do rolls or anything because, I mean, it's not quite an inn, but you're safe in the center of a friendly goblin village, unless you guys wanted to go back out 200 yards and go camp in the forest again.
No, not particularly.
No, I don't think so. And with that, we will take a quick 5 minute because I need more coffee.
Sure. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
And it sounds like Grit needs to see the screaming children.
Yeah, no, just does someone want to tell me what happened in the last 10 minutes? Because I was dealing with.
We'll do that while I make coffee then.
You're right. Sounds good.
If anyone's there, I'll be a minute just having a smoke and telling my dog off quickly.
What's
I exist.
I am also back.
Welcome back.
Hello there.
That was a pretty well done hello there.
That's pretty good. Got it.
Obi-Wan style. Sounded a bit like him. Hello there. Greg should only be a minute or two.
Mm-hmm.
So we can probably even start. Was there anything people wanted to do for the night or in the morning before you all left? Check out the statue, talk to any specific trade goblins or anything?
Not on my end.
Roland, you don't need to talk about fishing. I already know that you spend all the time with the veterans. Fishermen,
Fishing.
goblins.
Fishing. Don't tell me I don't eat. Oop, I fell over.
Well, just in case it's annoying and makes people load the fucking map. Now, can you see the yellow and red marks I've made?
No.
Good. Well, you would be able to set off the next morning when you are ready at your leisure with your new nearly mute goblin in tow, although he's not mute by any means. He does seem to chitter away at you guys quite a lot, whether you reply to him or not. He seems to have full-blown conversations with you in goblin.
Gotcha.
But anything majorly important, like when he's pathfinding with you guys or anything like that, he pantomimes, follow me signals or stop and everything like that. That being said, he also doesn't do what Big Smart and the other scout did, where they used to almost go out of sight sometimes ahead of you and everything to find other ways. This one's always within sight at most, usually a lot closer than that.
Okay.
But because I believe we have Jake making survival rolls, we've got to wait for him.
Yeah.
Yep. Survival
Alright,
roll.
you're back. Yep. Yep, so you can move your tile where you want.
Whereabouts am I moving to?
Well, the ultimate plan is to head back towards Camp Righteous, isn't it? To scout them out.
Mm-hmm.
So, whichever way you want to go for that.
One square.
Mm-hmm. And as you're traveling today, the wind through the trees chills you almost through to the bone. There's no rain or fog or anything. It's actually quite a clear day, but it just seems very windy. And even the few times you can actually see through the canopy of trees above you, you can almost make out clear sky with only the odd occasional cloud. But the day passes without any major incident, which brings us to nighttime, where we set up camp and make our perception rolls.
Oof.
I've always been. Except now.
So at some point during the night, you hear a loud shuffling coming through the trees towards your camp. And you watch as what could only be described as a small horde of giant lizards stampedes their way through the middle of your camp. Not to the point of the detriment of their lives or anything. They're not going to run through your campfire or anything like that. But they also don't do the usual of making a clear path around things. Like when they go around something like a tent or one of you, it's only just by enough that they pass you and not into the object.
Are there any slow ones at the back?
I mean, the ones at the back are the slow ones, but it doesn't look like there's any injured or particularly sick or old ones.
None that are easy to pick off.
I mean, they're in large enough of a number and everything that you would be able to like pin one to the ground and everything. They're probably the size of a small dog. Like they're big lizards, but not massive giant creatures.
We eating lizard tonight, boys.
And yeah, if you wanted to, you could probably pin one down and catch one easy enough for.
Do I need to roll anything for it?
Yeah, give me a animal handling, and we'll just see if you get bit, basically.
Honest. Wow.
Yeah, no, you managed to pin one down easy enough.
Yeah,
And avoid it.
don't let me look after the donkey.
Yeah. You managed to avoid its gnashing jaws, the teeth scrabbling in the air as you pin it down. You now have a live, writhing lizard as the rest of them run off into the jungle.
Then I'm gonna try and make it not so live.
Yeah, you can execute it just fine.
Did they look like they were running from something or just coming through?
Give me a insight.
Okay.
So that would probably be the smart thing to do, rather than try and attack one.
It's a safe bet that they were running from something.
Yeah, I would say to roll it now's not the time. Those things are running from something. We should probably take efforts to hide at the very least.
All right.
Do we have Chonky with us?
Yeah. If you guys wanted to take them,
I would think we
if you'd-
wouldn't take the donkey with us to scout out the
Yeah.
enemy goblins.
I mean, I'm not bothered either way. But if you unloaded gear onto it, then yeah, I would have assumed you'd bought it. But at the same time, the goblins will happily look after it for you. But their version of looking after it is free roaming in the
Yeah.
camp.
No,
and
well, it was more for like all the meat that we're about to receive from. If Roll ends up going through executing it and trying to.
I mean, it's it's only a small dog-sized lizard. There's not
Okay.
a lot of meat on it. Like, yeah, it's a meal, maybe a meal and a snack worth of meat.
Well, with that, and after I tell people that it was running from something, or rather a rather large pack of things was running from something, I'm gonna pass without trace, all of us, and then do my best to get a little sneaky.
Oh.
Plus
Well,
10, so
Yeah, that's with the plus 10. That's 17.
yeah.
I'll go climb a tree and sneak as well.
Everyone else want to be sneaky? Anyone else?
Yeah.
I mean, the twins would if you guys are too.
Yeah.
Is it 29 well hidden?
Yeah, 29's well hidden, 24's well hidden. Wow.
34.
Yeah, 34, sorry. Everyone manages to find in the darkness and in the thick undergrowth some good hiding spots. And you wait 5 minutes pass, and then 10, and then nothing's happening. And as long as you guys are waiting with bated breath, basically nothing happens.
Oh,
Well, that's odd. I guess whatever it is that those things were running from turned off somewhere or found a meal somewhere else. Or I was wrong.
But no, and sure enough, whether you waited another 5 minutes or the rest of the night, nothing would happen. Nothing more untoward. The rest of the night passes in somewhat peace. And the next morning crack. I mean, whether or not you would have stayed up all night and everything, you were still at least rather rested, so we won't worry about calling it a not a long rest or anything like that for exhaustion or anything. But ultimately the next day starts and nothing has happened untoward. Literally just a nest of lizards got disturbed and ran away.
Yeah, fair enough.
I just imagine like a party of reasonably well situated characters hiding in the shadows from nothing for the entire night.
I mean, there are dinosaurs out there.
Yeah, when there's dinosaurs and zombies and stuff. Yeah, I suppose fair enough. But if Jake wants to give us the next survival roll.
Like, there are dinosaurs in this area.
Yeah. Yep. 20 is fine. Move yourself.
Whereabouts do we want to go from the top of the... Oh, we're just scouting the camp out, aren't we?
Yeah.
yeah, just up one, I think. Well, not up, but yeah.
And at this point, you would be close enough that, I mean, you can't make it out, but you're pretty sure that, with another hour's travel, you would be within at least sight, if not walking, close walking distance of the, I don't know what to call it, a shrine, I guess I'll call it. So, from this point, if you wanted to just set up your camp and then have it as kind of like a neutral starting point and everything, you would also be pretty sure that you could go to the camp righteous without having to actually travel to the next hex and spend the whole day traveling and everything. I.e., you could go do a scout out tonight if you wanted and everything, and it'd just pass a bit of time.
Setting up a raiding camp.
Essentially, yeah. Like, you're far enough away that you're, low chance of actually encountering them without making an effort, but close enough that you can keep an eye on things and just spend an hour's travel to go there as opposed to an entire day.
Yeah. Well, what's the best way to go about this, Roland? This is more your area of expertise here. Is it better for all of us to go and try to keep eyes? More eyes can see more, or is it just better for one person? Or just a smaller group? I can as well keep
I think
up.
a smaller group. Sorry, continue.
Well, I can keep up Pass Without Trace on the larger group, or I could keep up, enhance ability and make someone either more perceptive or sneakier or something like that. But I can only do one of the two, and one attribute, if you will.
Revo would interject at one point and say, well, and no offense, Jake, but honestly, I do not think that you're very well situated for a reconnaissance mission.
I agree with that. I'll hang back on this one.
So, I would certainly think that a small group would be the best idea.
Well,
the less people we take.
Out of character, both of the twins are good sneaking.
Mm-hmm.
And both of them basically have some form of spell that could possibly help in situations.
Yeah. For Pass Without Trace, I would have to go with them, but for enhanced ability, I actually don't have to be near them.
Oh, that's not bad then.
Yeah.
And no, River's just sneaky. She doesn't have any spells, but the twins will both go or split up or not go as you guys wish.
Yeah, but
your goblin scout counts as a non-combatant as far as you guys are concerned.
Sure.
It is a child as far as combat and everything is concerned.
Mm-hmm. But also, just as obviously, I'd rather not have, Jake just by on his lonesome too.
No, the goblin and obviously Jake would stay behind along with whoever else decided to.
So I think if it was just me and you that went, then you could enhance ability me, and I could turn invisible and walk through the camp.
Well, first of all, and again, far be it from me, but I don't think we should necessarily go through their camp.
Well, I don't mean like directly through the middle of it, but I could turn invisible. I can get very close. If you enhance my perception, then
and I could do that, but if I'm doing that, I'm not keeping up my own spell of sneaking, as it were. Pass Without a Trace, I could not maintain the two.
You said you don't need to be close to.
I can only concentrate on
how far.
One of these two.
How far away can I get from you if you were to enhance?
30 feet. Enhance ability, you can go as far as you want to, up to an hour. But with Pass Without a Trace, we have to be within 30 feet of each other. So, what do you think?
If there,
Yeah, did we lose you? I
might have lost him.
think we might have lost him. If you're still there, give us no sign. Ah, well, never mind.
Oh, he's back.
You back?
I could hear you, but you couldn't hear me.
We could not hear you.
Maybe if we both get close and you pass without trace, and I can still go invisible. But we just need a small group. Too many would be too much attention.
If you think that's what's for the best, that's what we can go with. I'll follow your lead on this one.
So it's just you two going?
I think so. Do we? Yeah, I think so.
Sounds like it.
We definitely need to let the party know what we're doing.
Oh, sure. I mean, we're all.
I mean,
Let's just not
Yeah,
walk
they've
off without telling anyone.
They've been in the discussion.
Yeah.
Yeah, my bad.
Okay. Well, in that case, we are here. I will quickly pull you. No, never mind. I can just use this one. Maybe. You might need to. Oh, no. Oh, no, that's included. Don't need tents. Hopefully this will work. Yes. Okay.
It is mostly dark.
Yes. Well, I assume you guys are going at nighttime?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is not completely dark, I should note, this place.
No, it should have a campfire illuminating an area, and you guys should have your 2 tokens have a small radius.
Not entirely sure about that. There's a very small radius around us, but I see like this area and this area, this area. Okay.
Yeah, that's because there's a campfire.
All right. It just looks very strange the way it's done.
It's more of because the tents are blocking it and everything as well.
I have no vision of there. I've got black screen.
Oh, because you don't have a tile. You don't have a
mark. Yep.
That's the only bad thing about dynamic.
There you go. Thank you. Yeah, you can change your night vision setting, Roland, so you can actually have night vision.
I guess that's the other thing. I can't see at night.
Or do you want to light a torch up?
I don't.
Surprising that, huh?
How do I set my dark vision?
Just here, I should be able to do it for you actually. Night vision, you've got 120 feet.
It's not in any of the bars, right? Yeah,
No.
It's enhanced.
Yeah, I got it for you. Yeah. Now can you
I
see?
can see everything.
Yes. Yeah. So you should have your night vision up to 120 feet, which is the red.
Old security camera footage.
Yep. Old 1990s CCTV.
You can call me security eyes.
Nice.
Yeah, actually, I will set it up for you as well, so you can actually see what they're doing. Night vision. Can you see now, Greg?
Yep.
Yep. Okay, so sure enough, after probably just a little under an hour actually of traveling, you reach the cliff where you once first discovered this monument, and sure enough, there's a lot of signs of life. There's only a couple of patrolling, quite obviously goblins walking around, but you can see the marks and the tracks of a lot of feet and a lot of travel. Well, I suppose Roland can.
Some of us.
Yeah. There's a big bonfire in the middle here that is illuminating the landscape and the bank, as well as casting a glow up the monument of the alligator man.
Okay, well, before we get, super close to it, I'm gonna cast Pass Without Trace, maybe, I don't know, 5 minutes out or something like that before. And I'm gonna, obviously tell Roland, I can't see, at all. So I'm gonna try my best, but, you go 10, 15 feet out, and I'll lose track of you.
You might.
Oh, he's not again.
Yeah, I heard you say you might.
lose track of me pretty soon, but
Well, just keep in mind that that's fine, and my spell will be up. But, if you go 30 feet out past me, it will drop on you. And, if you're confident enough in what you're
But you
doing,
might-
that's absolutely fine. But just be aware of it.
And sorry, I will actually change your thing. 5 feet is a bit ridiculous. Good.
Much better.
Yes. Give you a couple of squares.
I mean, it is way better, actually.
But no, it is quite a dark night. There's been clouds roll in as the evening set in, and it's almost completely blanketed the sky, cutting out what little light did actually use to illuminate the jungles.
But yeah,
But if
After-
both of you
after-
want to give me
No,
a
no.
stealth roll
Mm-hmm.
with +10 if he's doing Pass Without Trace.
I am.
Whoa. Whoa. Wow.
Nice.
Imagine it. No, so you actually are surprised, Roland, as it seems Riod almost disappears at some points, even with your enhanced vision and everything. You're the one that seems to lose track of him as you're traveling more than often than not. I mean, it's not to an extent that you lose track of him completely. You guys are traveling together and making a point of knowing where each other are. But he seems to really slip in and out of the shadows better than you are doing, actually. Which isn't to say you're
just gonna be
stampeding
amazed.
through a 19 is still, pretty well hidden, but it's still
Yeah.
a 34.
Nah. Well, I'm gonna look pretty surprised.
And give him a thumbs up.
Of course. But yeah, thumbs up. I'm proud of you.
But no, you guys can move as you wish if you want to check anything out.
Right, so obviously I'm going to be moving in 10 feet increments.
So,
Do you want us to move, wait for the other person to move, then sort of back and forth, or?
I'm not bothered either way. You can
Okay.
Roland can kind of just jump as he wants to. You're the one more quote unquote fumbling through the dark.
Yeah.
Your rope ladder or whatever it
Mhm.
ended up being is still in place here actually, and it seems like the goblins have been using it. There's almost looks like footholds and handholds worn into the cliff already of things going up and down it.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want to climb down, give me a dexterity check.
I think before I would climb down, I would want to, wait for a while. A little bit, 5 minutes or so. See if there's any patrols going back and forth from what little I can see. That kind of thing.
And you would through flashes, you'd see occasionally one. There seems to be maybe one pair of goblins that patrol as well. They come in down behind this tent here into the shadows, and then come out down through and out of this building here. And they just seem to be keeping almost perimeter patrol around all of the different tents that you've seen before. A lot of the tents, they were ruins last time you were here. The goblins have remade them, not necessarily out of the materials that the tents were, but it looks like they've followed the same structures and plannings of whatever other human races or humanoid races had originally set up the camp here.
And on the map I can see 2 goblins here and here. Do these look like they're
Those-
awake, or?
Yeah, those are the patrolling ones.
Those
They're
are the
just
patrolling
moving around.
ones. Okay. I'll actually be right back in about.
Obviously, if you're going to climb down, they, I'll move them out of the way to somewhere else because you'd wait for that.
And it's unfortunate that he's having Discord problems, because now's the point where I need to put my kid to sleep. So
That's fine. He can sort his Discord. I will go have another smoke. You can go put Riley to sleep, and we will catch up back up in 5 minutes.
All right.
Sweet.
Yeah, I'll come and join you for a smoke.
Yep.
Riley.
Daddy, the Super Mario 3D roll on the Nintendo Switch. As fast Bowser's Fury.
Hello? No. Am I back? ammo back.
We could probably do that.
Well, no back at all. I'll have a smoke while I try and sort this out.
Oh, an aspect. Okay.
I'll be back in a bit.
Back.
Yo.
I see that Mufasa crashed.
I don't think he's back.
Now he said his computer crashed in Discord.
Oh, okay. I thought he just said something. Best luck. Huh? I mean, check your token's health and everything, because I think you're a bit chunky.
No, that's not right.
HP.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, hoping you don't set alarm bells in the middle of the camp, but you never know.
Ooh. So what if Mufasa doesn't make it back?
Ah,
Mm.
that'd be grand.
I will tell them there are 6 goblins. Because that is as many as I've seen.
He's
Oh.
back.
I still need to fix my computer in a sec, but yeah, I'm working on it.
Alright.
Sorry, I had a blue screen.
Oh wow, that bad.
Yeah, well, it's something weird with the Wi-Fi dongle and the internet, because if I'm on the internet using it and the internet gets switched off, it blue screen.
Anyway,
That was my Disney problem.
Yeah.
Balls confliction me, bro.
Yeah.
It is wireless. I'm sorry for the hold up.
It's alright, it happens.
For some of us more than others.
A lot more.
But yeah, because we are on somewhat of a quote-unquote time limit for the moment, being that you've got, what, an hour for Pass Without a Trace?
Yes.
And an hour for invisibility.
Yeah, and invisibility. So how long would you spend watching?
Really
The
only
patrol
5
cabin.
minutes. Yeah.
Yeah, well, in 5 minutes, you'd probably see, you know, one group or the pair walk past at some point. I mean, you can't make them out perfectly, and you wouldn't be able to distinct if it's, you know, two separate ones that have linked up and already passed you once or something like that. But you wouldn't see any clear defined pattern in that short of amount of time of keeping watch.
Okay. Yeah.
I would probably actually want to get a little bit closer, just get some better angles, because
That's fine. Like I said,
invisible.
give me a dex roll as you go down the ladder. Don't worry, it's not some insanely hard thing.
Something bad could still happen.
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, so you get down absolutely fine. You basically don't make a single noise on your way down.
I will
So
also
I want to.
attempt to come down. Just a dex save, or?
Yeah,
I guess all the numbers are the same, yeah.
Yeah.
I was just going to try and stay within 30 feet of Rio, but
Yeah, 16
Yeah,
is quite
if it-
fine too.
Okay.
Something like that is just, you know, looking for fives and unders and stuff like that.
Right.
For if you kick some rocks on your way down. You guys managed to get down quietly enough.
I'm good. Yeah. I'm going to keep close to Rio to let him know where I am at all times.
Yeah, well, for right
But,
now, I'd give you a thumbs up. I mean, like, because you might not be able to tell the way your tokens is set up, but this is all in the light from pretty much. It's only when we get into the tents and stuff that I can no longer see, because there is like a bonfire going somewhere around here.
I am invisible though.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah, he's fully invisible. You watched him disappear basically as you guys walked onto the cliff face.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I'm gonna.
So basically, what you're saying is you're waiting for me to take the lead.
Well, sort of, but I'm still gonna move around and just. Yeah, well, I'd actually probably tell you. Because can I whisper and not break invisibility?
Yeah. It's just basically anything that requires an action or bonus action. Or like touching things, I think.
Well, I'd whisper stay here for a second, and I'm gonna go just get some angles.
Sure.
Because I see a lot of them.
I would.
And yeah, with invisibility, unless you make a point of, I want to go fuck with this goblin, you're not going to be seen. You can walk amongst them and be absolutely fine. You know, you're not going to pass by so close to them that they're going to risk touching you or something like that, unless you want to make an effort for it.
I sort of don't want to get more than 30 feet away. But are these tents? Are they open? Can I poke my head in the two middle tents?
The big
the
one.
one I'm next to in that. Can I poke my head in and see, or will I be ruffling curtains?
Yeah, their door flaps would probably be closed at this point in night.
So would I not be able to see all the goblins that are in under tents?
No.
Okay.
You might catch a glimpse of one or two, but the bigger tents and stuff, there might be more in them, there might be less. I mean, no doubt these aren't all the goblins in the area. There's probably some out doing night jobs and everything like that.
How alert are these two looking, like this patrol right here?
I mean, they're patrolling, but it's the kind of patrolling where they're bored by this point. Nothing ever really happens, so why be too alert and everything like that? Like they're complacent, but they are still alert. They're awake and moving around, talking amongst each other, all of which is in Goblin.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, would the smaller tents also be closed, or would they be more
Varying
open to
states,
plan?
varying states, and like some of them, like a lot of them, they're not full made proper tents. They're like throw together bivouacs basically that the goblins make. They've just been made over the remains and shells of the old tents.
It's sort of like if I made an active effort to
Look inside, you could.
see as many as I could, like what sort of number could I come up with?
You'd come up with what you can see if you can actually see them on top of the tents and stuff. I'm not sure how the night vision's working
What
with it
ships
all.
left and all that?
Yeah, because I can see a few I've counted about 12.
Yeah. So you'd be able to see those ones because that's about what's on the board. But
So,
yeah, without making a direct effort of I'm going to go up and actually look inside each of the tents to get a clear defined number, that's all you would see. But that's not guaranteed. That's what's in each tent.
yeah, well, it's like I'm invisible, so I think like opening a tent flap, if someone saw that, they'd still be suspicious, even if there was nothing there.
Oh yeah, but at the same time, this is like middle of the night because I don't picture you guys left the other guys to set up camp and everything. You guys would have set up camp first, had dinner, and then been like, okay, we're going to go check out the thing. We'll be back in a few hours or whatever. So it'd be close to midnight at this point. So most of them are asleep, or the couple patrolling, or the ones that have gone to do night jobs have probably already left, that sort of stuff.
Well, I'd go back and tell Rayod that I can see about 12, but I think there'll be more in tents. I didn't want to open any.
Well, let's head back up, and maybe we could take an hour or two and just watch and see if there's any groups or anything that come back. Now, that'll be long past from when, my spell is up, but if we try to stay out of sight, maybe we'll be fine. And I don't necessarily sound too convinced about it. This is all out of my wheelhouse.
I'm not so sure about sticking around for an hour or two to make sure groups come back. I think the safe thing would be to assume there are groups out, and if our stealth spells are gonna run out, we shouldn't stay past that long.
All right.
So for now, the safest thing to do is just assume that there is at least one group out.
Mm-hmm. All right, and then I guess I would go and try to head back up the ladder.
We'll just keep the same rolls as before to get up, so you guys will be absolutely fine. I mean, it's been 20 odd minutes by this point, but at the same time, it's a minor thing. You've seen that the goblins aren't exactly on high alert or anything like that, or looking for anybody or anything. Roland didn't make any major impact on the camp, and he's been invisible the whole time.
And I tell him we do have about 15 or so minutes if we want to, again, wait around and see if anybody's coming in or out, or...
I mean, 15 minutes should be fine, but much longer than that, we should skedaddle.
Sure.
Or in the odd 15 minutes until the spells wear off, not much would happen. Guard duties might change, but beyond that, you'd probably notice that it's been the same 4 or possibly even 5 goblins doing the same patrol pattern over the hour. If they happened to swap rolls or swap patrols or anything during the night. It would just be complete luck that you happen to have seen it. Like, I don't imagine it would be set times or anything like that. It'd be a goblin's board of walking around in the middle of the night. I'm going to go kick someone else awake. But nothing else really happens. Nothing special or interesting. As you guys head back, both give me a survival roll, and we're going to take whichever is lower.
That sounds very good.
It does, doesn't it?
Oh, it sounds great. Hopefully it's just a 9.
Oh, no.
So, you guys walked for a number of hours, a lot longer than it took for you guys to get into the area of Camp Righteous. And after a while of travel, you're sure you're lost.
I think we're lost.
I think we're lost.
Worst thing is, it wouldn't have even mattered if we were taking the higher one or the lower one. They were both bad enough.
Yeah.
Normally in this sort of situation, when you're lost, you stay put. You know, you try to get your bearings and all that. You just don't wander further and wind up more lost.
Yeah, I was just thinking that same thing.
The only problem with that is that Jake and the others, if we're not coming back, they're gonna think it's because we ran into trouble at this goblin camp. And so, I'd like to think they would come after us, but I don't know. Either way, I think we're going to be bedding down and spending an uncomfortable night here, and hopefully we can see what's going on a bit better in the morning.
At least in the morning, I expect. Wait. I was just thinking I'd be able to climb trees and have a look out for our camp, but there's so many trees around I probably wouldn't be able to see it.
Not much. I mean, you might be able to see above the canopy and everything, but most of the time that you've been traveling, it has very much been almost like you've been walking indoors and everything. When it's rain, it's because it's so heavy above the thick treetops that it's falling through the netting of leaves. But beyond that, aside from the odd clearing and everything, it's very rare that you've seen true actual sky besides the odd occasional glimpse through.
I do think nonetheless tonight we should stay here.
Yeah, I think we should at least get out a little bit so we're obviously not right up on this goblin camp. I would hate for a goblin patrol just to walk up on us haphazardly.
It would probably be
But I guess we have
detrimental to our
wandered
health.
around for a couple hours, haven't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We
we're
would have
probably-
got a decent amount of.
Yeah, far enough. Yeah, I mean, I guess the thing that we do, we do our best to sort of bed down.
And usually we would jump back to what the other party was doing at this point, but I have already planned something else out for that. So we will keep up with you guys for the rest of the night.
Okay.
You get maybe 2 or 3 hours sleep. Like you said, not very comfortable. It is very cold. You haven't bought any blankets, and at one point there is probably even some huddling together for warmth. But when the sun finally breaks and you guys wake up and can see somewhat properly again, you're in the middle of the jungle and you're not sure where. Give me a survival roll. Take your pick out of whichever one of you guys. Just give me a roll.
Can you do it?
With a 4, I will attempt to take it. Well.
You spend the rest of the day not finding a single landmark. No tree looks any different from another, and it's honestly getting to the point of frustration at some point. The biting cold is starting to affect both of you a bit more in morale as well, and the fact that you didn't get a proper rest last night, and you're probably a lot more tired than you usually would be, is starting to wear on both of you a bit. But as you get to probably late afternoon sometime, it's hard to tell, especially with the weather being how it is recently. You notice some form of large tracks running through the jungle. Seems a lot different to any kind of natural creature might leave. A lot of the creatures that leave tracks of this size, they're like large dinosaurs and everything, and they leave very pronounced tracks of, gouges in the ground or on the vine roots and everything as they travel and everything. Their weight is shifted through the undergrowth and everything like that, or would have rubbed up against trees and such like that. But this one seems almost as if a large, very heavy spider has moved through the undergrowth. It looks like almost javelins have been thrust through the undergrowth and around, almost creating round holes in the matting of the foliage under your foot. It seems like it's been burnt away around what looks like a red-hot javelin.
Ah, fuck.
That does not look good.
No, it doesn't.
There's no spider webs or anything, and the only reason you'd guess anything resembling a spider is because it seems like it uses a wide support basis of these almost red-hot lances that seem to have left tracks that assume that they stick in and then get removed afterwards.
Are there a lot of them in this area, or does it look like it was passing through?
It seems like one large thing has made it as it passes through.
Okay. I have no idea what this belongs to, but I do not think that I would like to meet it.
No, not really. This is not a good thing.
Could I guidance and then make any kind of guesses as to how long ago these tracks were made?
Yep. And with a 21, you'd guess
Maybe she wants to go for a swim, man.
it'd be at least a few hours, to not a day.
Just get the swim.
Or the night before.
Get the drink out of the
hole. No, definitely no longer than a day. If you were to hazard your best guess, it would be the night before. There's no sort of regrowth or anything like, but at the same time, it's well cold and there's no warm spots to the touch or anything hitting.
Well, the tracks themselves are a day or so old, but I mean, another way to put that would be a day or so fresh. Should we, again, spend the day where we are, or should we try to wander out? I mean, the sensible thing to do, again, is to stay where we are, but I mean, that is the sensible
Give me
thing to
another
do.
perception check, each of you, actually. Because I just figured you guys would actually be looking amongst the tracks and everything as well. Roland, you do notice another set of footprints as well that seem to be following the same path line, and these ones seem a lot fresher. Which are, sorry, I should also explain more, are humanoid footprints made with boots.
Okay.
What's that survival roll?
Yeah, we can't hear you if you're talking.
Yeah, no, we cannot. You might need to type it.
Man, why is Discord both so good and so bad at the same time?
Yeah, it really is. Still better than Skype.
It is still better than Skype.
Yeah, I gotta agree with that one. Yeah. Oh man, the 3-second delay you used to have when jamming with people in the US.
Yeah. How old are the tracks? I mean, with a roll that low, you'd know they were from today, but you would not be able to guess where or when today, I should say.
What were the mage users? The goblin mage users? Cool. The what?
Nilbogs? If you're talking about the one that...
No, not the one that there was a clan, wasn't there?
Oh, the owls.
Yeah, oh, the owls, this one.
Yeah. Did we want to stay put, follow the tracks, avoid the tracks as much as possible?
Like, again, if it's up to me, you know, the thing you do is you stay put. You know, in a real life situation where you're lost like this in the wilderness, you stay put. You know, unfortunately, since Fraser's going in and out a little bit.
Well, we stay put until Roland decides otherwise, it seems. Well, I guess in that case then we might be able to jump to the other camp and what happens the night before.
Yeah.
I just need to sort out which token is staying and which are going.
Hello?
Yeah,
We can hear you.
Oh man. I think maybe Skype was a little bit more stable than this.
To be fair, you don't normally have this much trouble with it.
not this much trouble, yeah.
Oh yeah, true.
There's usually
It
an
is-
issue or two, but it's not this bad.
It is kind of pretty bad today.
But now we jump back in time to the night before again with Jake and the twins and the young goblin named Tick. At one point during the night, Flask leaves, as he quite often does, to hunt or to train or whatever he does when he leaves camp. And you guys are sitting, doing whatever you might be doing, when you start hearing a noise. Strange one, you haven't heard quite any other like it before. It sounds like a almost large ballista being fired before a loud hissing, and then something being dragged heavily through the forest.
Oh, well, would you say it was like a loud?
Very loud.
Very loud? Oh, well,
I mean, you'd hear it from quite a distance, but I mean, with it, how loud jungles usually are anyway, you probably wouldn't hear it or pay attention to it till it was a fair bit closer. But I mean, you have plenty of time to react.
see, I'll jump up and, be alert.
And as you jump up, River would also poke her head out and say, "What's that noise? That's a bit odd for the jungles, don't you think? It almost sounds man-made." And as you ponder what it might be, you watch as what can only be described as the body of a giant metallic spider comes swinging into view via these large... And make me a dex save check as it fires 2 large nets in your direction.
Oof.
Big oof. So, as this large net collides with you, knocking you to the ground, you watch as... keep forgetting getting them mixed up. River lightly dances out of the water, just barely avoiding the large heavy net. And you see as the small goblin takes cover in this undergrowth. I wasn't expecting her to make that. Ruined my storytelling, damn. She would take a shot with her longbow, which would definitely hit something of this size. I don't have a token for it, by the way, sorry. But you'd notice the arrow almost just glances straight off the side, and there's a small chip in what appears to be metal, but you're sure an arrow wouldn't have caused a chipping effect like this to happen to something large and metal like this. As another net hits her, fired from the giant spider thing. Sorry, didn't plan this to happen tonight. This is my bad. This is bad. I will put my hand up to this.
Who could have foreseen the scouts getting lost?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, you two get captured by this giant spider thing and dragged up into what seems to be some kind of small, very tight storage compartment in the bottom of it. As you can see, it is indeed man-made, and you feel it take off and judder underneath you. And we'll cut back to the scouts again, because hopefully that'll give them the red herring to follow the track.
I think we should stay put.
For some strange reason, I just got the weird feeling we should follow the tracks.
Sorry, I did not expect you guys to get lost on the way out there.
Yeah.
That was pretty.
Neither
That
did
was
we.
Yeah.
So anyway, You guys can only spend so much waiting around anyway. It doesn't seem like your knight in shining armor is going to appear out of the jungle and save you at this juncture at any rate.
Which is a shame.
It's almost like it has to be the other way around.
Yeah, all of a sudden. Well,
I don't know what we should do. Like, I don't really want to die out here. I'm slowly running low.
well, I mean, food we're covered with. Water is slightly an issue. But you're right.
Yeah.
Well, you've got Flask, unaccounted for, the Goblin, unaccounted for. You don't technically know that two of your party members have been captured.
We don't. Actually, we're actually set on water because I do have the alchemy jug on me.
I mean, you guys aren't at risk.
Yeah.
Not
Understood.
directly, anyway.
Yes, but in a fit of Deus Ex Machina, we should probably follow these tracks.
I mean, call it Deus Ex Machina, call it, is there anything else to do?
Right.
But, you would follow them, and probably by the end of the day, you'd find that they, lead down into a cave system. And you notice the markings.
If we were at a
Go.
You're on again.
Or go mute again, it's okay.
what did we know? I'm not having fun here.
You've got this phrase.
Am I back?
Mm-hmm.
What did we notice? You can't cut out.
The tracks lead towards a cave system, or towards a cave. And you notice that the marks that have been left in the trees and undergrowth have almost been worn into the cliffs. Like it doesn't seem like it's random spots they fire to when it goes into the cave system. It's been worn away over time. Constantly.
Back.
So there is a definitive, well-used entrance.
Mm-hmm. Is it the only one? Don't know. It's the only one you can see, though.
Can I sort of scratch?
Yes. I know you cut out. I heard scra.
Can I scratch Roland was here into one of the trees just in case one of the party members walks past this exact point?
I mean, if you want, you're still a little bit away. It's kind of on the other side of an open clearing. A large mounded dirt raises out with little trees around them, and what trees do grow are quite thin and sparse. And you can just see as it kind of digs its way into the ground.
Does it look like it's natural, or does it look like it was made?
Very, very, very humanoid made from some kind of creature
Okay.
that probably uses tools.
Well, we can pass without trace and enter in. It should mostly keep us unseen.
Yeah.
Hopefully. All right. Well, I think that's the plan then.
You slowly make your way into this cave.
I can use invisibility, but it's a bit.
If it's a once a day thing, let's keep it for now.
Yeah, it's I get to choose between this invisible and another spell, but I only get to use the feature once a day.
Mm-hmm. Probably best to keep it until we know what we're dealing with, I suppose. Or we need to flee, or you need to flee. One of us needs to flee.
Yes.
Well, you slowly make
Hopefully,
your
if we need to flee, we can both flee.
With luck.
You both slowly make your way down this cave system, and it's quite obviously intelligent creature made. I don't want to say human made, man made, because we're dealing fantasy races and everything, and don't want to be racist.
Of course.
You know, it's man made, and it goes on snaking round and around, almost in a spiral down almost 200 feet before coming into this area. And give me a second.
No. No, it's my computer that's doing the not want to connect to the internet.
We also have some familiar faces that you can see in the firelight. Are these mushrooms and stuff glowing for you guys as well? Or you, Riod, I guess.
This one is?
Like this one here? Yeah.
But I
So
see one
the
over here
light
that
is-
is not.
It is not. It should be.
And those are the only two I even vaguely see. Oh, actually, this one might be. It's just a trick of... Yeah, where line of sight stuff is. I think it is.
Oh, yeah, it's probably the line of sight because the rock's blocking it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because
It's fine,
I
but yes,
can
if
see
you-
like this right here. Yeah.
Both want to roll me a stealth check.
Sure.
Already gave me his. Riod's is not very good.
Plus 10.
Oh, yeah, did you recast?
I did,
You
yeah.
guys
We
can
we
down
cast it before we started
Yep.
going down the cave.
Oh, that is fine then.
I'm
guys-
not sure if this is my end, but I just see a black square with me on top of it.
Sounds like your end.
It was my end. It just fixed itself.
Alright, sometimes you need to move the tokens for the dynamic light to kick in.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm fine. I can see.
But yes. Jake, I explained what happened to you.
Mm-hmm.
In this area here is a large, what looks like a spider's abdomen sitting in where this rock is here. If you can see it rolling, it's probably in the darkness for you.
It
though.
is in the darkness.
It is in the darkness, but I can still see it.
Yeah, there's nothing there anyway. It's just in that area where that rock formation is where it is. So, Jake, you do what you would be doing in the situation that I explained to you, and these guys have appeared basically at the point where these quote-unquote goblins have explained their situation and told you what they tell you. So would you be discussing with them, would you have been resistant the whole time and, belligerent and everything like that?
Yeah, well, wouldn't have been resistant. I would have just gone with the flow that they set. So.
So yeah, in that case, you wouldn't be tied up or anything like that if you hadn't been openly hostile or been fighting them or anything like that. They would have left you untied after they released you from the net. In the cave, they would have released you deep inside here.
Have they taken most of my items, like my weapons?
They didn't take your items off you, no.
I'll be a bit vigilant. I would,
But it would have been like, you basically would have been dumped out of the bottom of the chassis of the spider.
Yeah.
Still in the heavy netting and everything, and they all would have, had weapons on you and basically told you, like, sorry for doing it that way. Don't try and fight, you will lose, but, just hear us out, blah, blah, blah.
All right, yeah, what you're explaining before, yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, and in that case, I'll just.
Keeping in mind, you would not see these other two walking in either.
What these two here?
Riod and Roland, they're up to the northeast. Probably in the darkness for you.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'd ask them if they know anything about the owls. The owl? Goblin tribe owls? What their name was.
The owls? No, honestly, we probably no. We've never heard of any owl goblins. No.
Or mage users, magic users.
Goblins that use magic. That's pretty rare as far as we know. I mean, we haven't heard anything of them really, but we tend to stay in our cave when we're not out and about in Big Bass.
It was a fun little contraption you fellas had just then. It was.
I mean, these are good testing grounds, and we have a lot of time to test, and not a lot of distractions. Give me a perception check. Both of you.
Is that both of us?
Yeah. You could hear it, Riod. And you could hear it, Roland.
So, I'll put my finger up to my lips, but do sneak at least a little bit closer.
I'll be quiet, but also be sneaking closer.
As long as you stay out of the light.
What about the biting ants tribe? Do you know much about them?
No. In honesty, as we explained, we are not actually goblins. I don't really know how to explain it to someone who doesn't know the craft, but the accident happened and we were all turned into these. We don't really interact or involve ourselves with much that goes on in the jungle.
So am I still tied up in the net? Have they freed me?
No, they would have freed you once you had agreed. You wouldn't be sitting around the fire with them still netted up and stuff. Once you agreed to, hear them out, listen to their story and everything like that, they would let you up and everything, invited you over to the fire, made sure you were, uninjured and everything like that.
That one,
Anyone doing anything?
Well, honestly, I would be watching and seeing if the conversation continued on further. I mean,
Yeah.
from what we gathered right now, things are not what they
I'm-
seem to be.
Yeah. It's more aimed at Greg if he
Yeah,
needs
yeah.
to bring anything else up, because I just made a roll then, which I'll address in a sec.
yeah. What were they? They were.
They were gnomes cursed to look
My
like
pierced
goblins.
names. That's right. Yeah.
Worst way to reveal it to the other two. Wanted to make it all exciting and shit.
Yeah, I would have.
Did you really got gnomed?
Get gnomed.
No. Oh yeah, I wouldn't really have
It's
much more to
Gnotic and Oblin.
Yeah, I wouldn't have nothing more to say to them. So I have to
Well-
ask them in the meantime anyway.
At some point during the conversation, this goblin here would actually notice Roland and Riod creeping and listening in, and whisper something to the main one here that had been speaking with you. And it would turn around and say, do you have friends with you? Ones that we left behind or something? By the way, I know it seems bullshit, but they legitimately rolled a 20.
A 20?
Yeah, for perception, they rolled perfect 20, so...
Okay. I was gonna say against the 27, but if it was net 20, yeah.
Well, skill checks don't
Fair enough.
crit, but yeah, at the same time, they've got bonuses too.
No, not that I know
Hearing this
You know-
rolling
you know-
and just like, you know what? You know what?
of. Just trying to hold
Wait.
aside.
Wait, did I hear him say that?
Yep, you guys are hearing this conversation.
Well, I'm gonna step out of the darkness and then I'm gonna say, "What? Am I not your friend?"
Didn't leave anybody behind.
A couple of the goblins,
you don't have any friends here?
go to like ready themselves as the ones that did not know that you were there. A bit startled, to say the least, of the sudden appearance of you two.
Oh, buddies, how's it going?
I believe you
Oh,
all have something that belongs to us. Now, I gather there's more here than meets the eye, but I'd certainly appreciate it if you were to hand our friends over.
I mean,
Well, our friend.
We'll take River.
Because apparently we only have one here.
something that belongs to you, friend. I mean, do you really have them one and the same? I mean, your friend is free to leave. We just honestly need some help.
What is it you need help with?
Oh, some of us don't like what we are now. As I was just telling your friend, what, apparent friend, belonging. As I was telling him, contrary to our appearance, we're not actually goblins. We're gnomes. We were here on an expedition to try and find somewhere suitable for a lab to do some experiments out of the eyes of more civilized folk. But
The eyebrow
one of them went
shoots up.
wrong. One of them went wrong, and well, this happened.
What sort of experiments you were running to turn you into the Patiri?
Honestly, anything. That's why we came out here, to have freedom in our experiments and not disturb people in the main cities with all their laws and everything. It's not a factor of we want to break the laws and everything, but sometimes experiments happen to break the laws. We don't want to have to worry about that, but it went badly wrong. And as I was explaining to your friend why we took them using Beth, most people honestly just kill goblins on sight. So, not exactly the best look to try and go back to civilization.
Understood.
You're not wrong there. Even goblins try and kill goblins on sight.
Luckily, we're somewhat out of the norm as far as that goes.
I'd hope so anyway. To be honest, you've quite thrown me for a turn. I thought these two were the only ones camping out here. How many more of you are there?
I believe we're still
You'll
missing
understand if we sort of leave that be for the time being, right?
Well, we don't want you sneaking around our cave and everything. You two have made yourself known. Why would not others?
Because the friend backstabbed them in the back.
From our point of view, you do have to realize that it looks like you've taken some of our friends who are waiting for us captive, correct?
Captive is a strong word. More forced discussions?
Which sounds like another word for captive.
That sounds like semantics.
It does, but words can be important.
Well, we meant no harm, honestly. We just wanted a chance.
Now, we're mostly giving you the benefit of the doubt. But that doesn't necessarily mean we'll be telling you everything about ourselves either.
Fair enough. I don't by any means expect that.
I'm going to whisper the real. I think it's lucky we got lost.
We did not get lost. I'm looking at him very poignantly.
A druid is never lost.
But again, there are some others of us out there. And to be very frank, I would rather expect them to be looking for you as well.
Well done. We were sure that we would have gotten them all at that time of night. But why were you not together then?
How long have you been here? And I sort of gesture around the cave.
A long time, actually. A lot longer than any of us thought was possible. It escapes me just how long. It could be a week, it could be 100 years. I do not know.
But how do you not know the difference between a week and 100 years?
We have been here for... And he kind of starts counting on his fingers. And it seems like he's counting, but at the same time, it also just seems like he's rolling his fingers over and over, and he stops talking for quite a while until someone would happen to snap him back out of it again. At which point...
What is he counting? Is he counting days? No, because he's been in the cave.
I gather you've been continuing your experiments.
Well, yes. I mean, make the best of a bad situation, I guess.
Exactly. Say no more. But you probably won't be aware of. There's something of a goblinoid war brewing just on the surface a little ways away from you.
Well, that doesn't sound the best. I mean, it might provide more specimens, but that is worrisome if it's going to be causing issues. What kind of issues might arise from a goblin?
Well, we are somewhat involved in this war.
How are we involved in the war?
No, not you. We.
Oh.
I mean, possibly you, by, dint of how you appear at the moment.
Well, that wouldn't be the best. Not many of us are well suited for war directly. I mean, Bess is a good platform, but we wouldn't want her damaged. She's the pride of us.
Bess?
And he points into the shadows.
Who's Bess?
He points at the giant spider abdomen shaped contraption.
I know that. I just don't know that in character.
That's
Goblin.
Bess.
Yeah. No, Goblin in character.
Bess is your creation.
Yes, all of ours. And at this point, all of the various goblinoids start nodding along.
Right. Huh.
Do you think you could
Go. No, just Discord. Okay. Thanks, Discord. Great.
Oh yeah, he's gone.
Yeah.
So Jake, what they're saying is true. They've been treating you well, right?
Yeah,
River?
I mean,
they haven't harmed us at all.
sorry. I mean, as well as being carried through the forest in some kind of machine can be considered well treated, but we're more or less unharmed aside from some chafing. She kind of seems highly annoyed at the situation.
And you were told that you're free to go.
I mean, we've only just really arrived, maybe 10, 20 minutes before you.
Oh, then our timing is pretty good.
Impeccable, honestly.
It's a good thing we found you.
It's a good thing we got found.
After we found you were missing. Right. Well, let's try to start at the beginning. My name's Riyadh. Riyadh Day.
I am Pick.
And he kind of holds out a grubby little hand.
Yeah, I'd shake it.
As I said, we gnomes, or used to be, and we came out here to do experiments and continue our crafts unimpeded, but one went wrong and now we're stuck like this.
Some sort of curse? What?
Yeah, what were you experimenting on?
It was a form of, I believe, alchemy. No, alchemy. He seems very confused when he says it, and he says it twice like they're different things. But he says it that way. If you want to insight it, you can, but I think you know what the answer would be either way.
Yeah, we'll hit an insight on it just for good measure.
You're surprised this guy knows up from down and can make a legible sentence. Honestly, he is that confused.
Yeah.
And he seems probably the most together out of the lot of them. The rest just kind of seem almost mindless or lobotomized.
A lot of fumes from these experiments.
Fumes, impulses, pulses, all kinds of things, really. They're experiments. The best ones are quite flashy.
Well, sure, if you say so. My heart goes out for you. It really does, Pick, but I'm not sure what I can do for you, or what we can do for you.
Have you come up with any way to? Oh, that's the starting of trying to reverse it.
Decapitation didn't work, and
Kind of gives a chuckle.
lightning strikes didn't either. We haven't gotten any kind of formula basis for it. When it happened, it was in a big explosion, and our old lab got completely ruined.
If I sort of wander around a little bit, does anybody particularly pay, like too much attention to the fact that I'm really wandering around? I mean,
Not really. They'll like keep their eye on you, but no one goes to stop you or anything like that.
okay.
And yeah,
So-
up on this is like a 5-foot shelf in the cliff, and on top of it seems to be some sort of lab area with various tables.
With casino games.
Yeah, casino games. No, that
I know. I've
arcade.
used it before as well.
It's an arcade table, thank you. But no, that is actually the magic thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like, oh boy. I do not have detect magic prepared at this exact point in time, but like giving it a good round, can I make heads or tails out of anything around me? And I'm betting not. So, don't feel as if you need to throw me a bone.
No, not magically. You can see what little magic there is. It would seem to be like small effects that start off the mechanical works of other things they have created. It seems very much more of a artificer workshop as opposed to like an alchemy. Like there are alchemy supplies, alembics, and everything like that as well. This also is water over here.
I couldn't actually see that far, but
Yeah.
I stopped wandering anyways.
But you can see all kinds of different gnomish contraptions, clockwork spiders, different other animals. What look like
grenades. To be quite honest, they're just grenades. Yeah.
Yeah.
They're, I don't know whether you, as Riod, would have encountered grenades before, or whether it just looks like a vase with a rope on top. But
Yeah,
that's
I
what it
wouldn't
is,
really.
basically.
Like, even hazard a guess, really. So,
Cough,
do you
cough,
have any...
Cough, cough.
You could definitely sneak one or two into your backpack, Roland.
Can I say I take 2?
Do you have any research or notes or anything that maybe we could look over so we could find some clues as to your condition?
We have plenty of notes and everything. Feel free to use our lab. He points at the area up there. Sure, much up. See.
Sure, and I'd...
Keeping in mind, you can change your vision on your token to like 20 feet if you want to, or 30 feet if you want to.
Oh, yeah. How would one go about doing that?
In your cogwheel, when you click on your token and you go to dynamic lighting, and then change bright light from 10 feet to whatever a torch's light is, or a lantern, whatever you're using.
I can change an aura. I do not have dynamic lighting. I only have a general setting.
Yeah, in the cogwheel we don't get dynamic lighting options.
Oh, don't you? Okay.
So I believe that's a U thing.
You should have 30 feet of
Yeah,
something.
there you go. Yes.
So you're poring over various things with a lantern. What do other people wish to do? River would be looking very grumpy throughout this whole ordeal, basically.
How,
I kind of want to. I mean, I want to whisper, but I want to ask River, what do you know anything about Fast? But
No,
where's the missing one?
No, I have no idea. He went out maybe an hour, maybe 2 before their thing came shambling out of the jungle. Yeah, I haven't seen him since. He should be fine. He knows how to look after himself, but I don't like these things. I don't think they're worth our time.
She's racist. No racist.
She found out they were gnomes, and she's like, "Damn it! Why couldn't they just gas themselves?"
He has a lot of.
But give me a investigation as you pour over their note.
Oh, yeah,
And
let's
researches.
let's take some guidance on this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oof. A lot of it is just rabid scrawlings to you, whether it's because it's written in Gnomish, which you may or may not understand,
You do
whether
not.
it's just or whether it's just their handwriting. Not much legible can be made out of it.
Could you give us a couple minutes to talk your situation over amongst ourselves?
I mean, yeah, just don't play with that one.
Points to a random item on the table, which honestly just looks like a weird kind of hammer to you.
What's that one?
I can't remember. I just know we shouldn't use it.
Right. Group huddle.
Yeah, they're all kind of just like silently watching you. Like it is a little bit unsettling, but it's not like there's much intelligence in a lot of their eyes. Like it's very misty gazes.
So I don't go too far into these sorts of circles, but I think the terminology of what happened to these people is that they're off their rocker. They're absolutely batshit insane, basically. Whatever happened to them has muddled their mind into mush, basically. That doesn't mean it's irreversible. That just means they're not a lot of help. What I'm thinking is we broach it to them and we try to get them with the actual goblins right now. It's probably not too hard to convince them. Then we can see about bringing over this stuff with me, because that's the other thing about, gnomes, is that what they do and what they make tends to be pretty extravagant, elaborate, and impressive. You should know me by now. I'd like to help these people if we can. I just don't have a clue as to how we would go about doing that.
I mean, not that I think that you've actually seen it yet, because it's still been in the darkness for you the whole time. But,
Right.
yeah, if you had seen the spider thing, it would have looked quite fantastical, actually. Like with a lot of pistons and gears, with what look like ballistae that fire off roped darts.
Gnomes as a group can be somewhat of a handful to deal with, but
The bottomized ones?
it could be worth our while.
I don't know.
Well, it is also 4 o'clock, so we can leave the decision for next week if you want.
Sure.
Yeah, I'll have to leave it for next week. I've got Mum coming over. Post the house up before she comes.
Oh, sweet.
No idea what we can do here.
Sorry, that was a little bit muddled in the middle there. Like I said, I did not expect that to go down that way.
Right.
I was not expecting a -1.
Yeah, that was pretty rough.
You did make me roll a survival roll. You should have been expecting.
And then took the worst of the two.
Gotta pass them around.
It was
Well, like I said, it wouldn't have mattered even if we'd used re-odds. It still was under 10.
Yeah, that's fair.
Since it was a -1, we got lost for a second day.
You got double lost. Bless you.
Thank you.
Either way,
Oh,
yeah,
God.
it was a pretty good session. I mean, Discord issues aside, which happened.
Yeah. We get used to them. Fun.
We-
Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of sucks.
We didn't get discovered by an enemy goblin camp, which, is always a plus.
Yeah, well, having a pass without trace invisible rogue really helps too, though.
It really does. Definitely stacking the deck in our favor.
Just a little bit.
And no one will ever know that Roland and I got lost.
No.
Except maybe Flask.
Except Flask, whom we will have to find soon.
Yeah.
Who we can just say we went after the spider, so he could. Yeah, we didn't get lost.
Yeah.
Well, I'm not sure you found the end of those other humanoid tracks, Flask might be closer than you think.
That's very true.
Oh, guys.
Yep.
Have a good week, and I shall catch y'all on Thursday.
Yep. I hope everyone has a great week, and we'll catch you next week.
All right, catch you later.
Peace out.
Get you later.